a soggy Neyland Stadium in Knoxville, Tennessee, the Volunteers of the University of Tennessee will be hosting Marshall's Thundering Herd. As you can see, there are rain ponchos and rain slickers on the field. The band is in the stands. They're not on the field. And the temperature at game time, 70 degrees, 100% humidity, and there is still a forecast for rain and scattered thunderstorms in the Knoxville area for the next 2 to 3 hours. The game has already been delayed by almost an hour, Pat Ryan, and we're going to see something here today we haven't seen in a long time. Tennessee players are not going to run through the tee. That hasn't happened since it started in September of 1965.
You know, that's kind of strange. That really kind of surprised me, Randy. You thought if they're going to play the game, you do everything that you normally do, but I guess time restraints kind of shut them down in that aspect. So they're just going to come out and play ball.
Let's take a look at the players to watch. Among the players to watch tonight in the game, Ahmad Bradshaw, great running back from Marshall, and they locked up a lot of points against Hofstra in their win.
Yeah, they did. Bradshaw went for about 150 yards. Bernie Morris, their quarterback, went for 150 yards. They went for over 500 yards against Hofstra. Granted, Hofstra is not Tennessee, but they showed that they got some firepower.
The Volunteers lost a squeaker, 1-point loss to Florida last week, but the receivers have been surprisingly playing very, very well all season long, mainly Jason Swain and Robert Meacham.
Yeah, Meacham and Swain, and add in Brent Smith. They've got 36 total receptions for 600-some yards and 6 touchdowns. They count for about 70% of Ainge's completions to this point.
All right, let's go down on the sidelines and check in with our sideline specialist, former Tennessee Vol, Mike Stoll. Mike?
Thanks a lot, Randy. And things on the field are pretty good. A lot of injury situations. Inky Johnson, Juster Harrell, defensive players out for the season. You've also got a lot of questions with Elix Wilson, linebacker. He has a shoulder injury. Arian Foster 2 weeks ago damaged his ankle. He still hasn't been able to play full speed. You also have Ja'Cory Williams and kick returner Austin Rogers. They're all questionable. Probable Ramon Foster, but a lot of banged up people for the Vols. And with a field like it is today, there could be a lot of questions. You got to be very careful, but at the same time, this is the type of game where you establish yourself in the trenches, in the line, and go after it and make things happen.
All right, thank you, Mike. We'll be checking back in. Stay dry down there, buddy. And it's hard to do that.
Yeah,
but we've had like over 3 inches of rain today in Knoxville. Stay with us. We'll be back with more from Neyland Stadium, including the kickoff of the Tennessee Marshall game coming up next. Well, there's Smokey talking to the cheerleaders on the sideline. It's been a different type game day today, hasn't it, Pat?
Yeah, it really has. Smokey's even got his poncho on, you know, and if he's worried about getting wet, you know, we've had a lot of rain. It's been extremely different. Had to send both teams back into the locker room after they came out to warm up. You know, that's tough on a player. You get used to a schedule. You get used to a rhythm. You know, you come out, you warm up, you go back in for 10 minutes, come out, and you kick off, you're ready to play football. Their schedule has been disrupted. Whether that's going to cause a problem, we don't know yet. We'll see.
Only one previous meeting, two previous meetings in the series history. It's tied 1-1. Last meeting, though, Tennessee beat Marshall 34-24. That was here in Knoxville just a couple of years ago, back in 03. Well, we're waiting for the teams to come out onto the field. We've had over 3 inches of rain in Knoxville since, I guess, last night, and the forecast is still not looking good, even though there's a glimmer of sunshine peeking through right now.
Yeah, the skies are blue, but it's probably not going to last.
All right, let's go down to the field and the playing of our national anthem.
Protect them from injury and keep us all mindful of our sportsmanship. On this homecoming weekend, we all reflect on our connections with this university, both past and present. We are grateful for the friends, the education, and the opportunities it has provided us. Please watch over each person here today and grant us all a safe return home. In your name we pray. Amen.
To honor America, please join Andrew Wenzel and the Pride of the Southland Marching Band, conducted by Dr. Gary Sousa, Director of Bands, in singing our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight for the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets rang near, the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, stay the flag, star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
The Tennessee Pride of the Southland Marching Band and the Volunteers are running out of the end zone, not the tee. And after an hour delay, it is football time in Tennessee. The Volunteers dressed in orange, Marshall coming out of the south end zone dressed in white and green. Now, Pat, there is a movie coming out in a few weeks called We Are Marshall. It's a great movie. I've already seen some excerpts or two from it. It's about the 1970 Marshall team that perished in a plane crash up in Huntington, West Virginia. And I encourage everybody to get out and see that, because that is still talked about to this day in Huntington, West Virginia.
Oh, it's big in Huntington. I mean, that has been a big topic for years. I think the movie essentially is about the rebuilding of the Marshall program. Matthew McConaughey is the big star in the movie, and apparently they filmed it there in other spots last summer and had a great turnout for it.
Coach Philip Fulmer in his 15th year at Tennessee has an overall career record, 130 wins, 38 losses. That's 77%. Just a slight percentage point, or a less than a thousandth percentage point, better than Steve Spurrier of Florida among active coaches in the NCAA right now. And there's head coach Mark Snyder in his second year at Marshall. The Herd went 4-7 last year. They're 1-2 this year. And his career record thus far with the Herd is 5-9. Marshall won the toss. They will defer, and Tennessee gets the football. Marshall will kick off. If you're Mark Snyder, you've been talking about the great crowd, the noise, the atmosphere. All that changed about an hour ago, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. You don't have the great crowd. You don't have the atmosphere. What you have is essentially what all coaches hate, is a distraction.
Right.
And that goes double for Tennessee also. I mean, coaches hate distractions, and this weather and this delay has been nothing but a distraction for both teams.
Marshall came up from 1AA, where they won 2 national championships in the 90s. They finished second in the 90s in the 1AA playoffs. And they have been 1A now for about 6 or 7 years, playing out of Conference USA. They were playing in the Metro Combat 4. Beecham tackled immediately.
Tennessee's lining up quick, going right up to the line of scrimmage, trying to catch Marshall off guard a little bit, keeping him from substitute.
Ainge calling the audible. Plenty of time on the game clock, 14 seconds. Ainge shifts, now moves back into the shotgun. Plenty of time, over the middle, pass caught by Swain inside the 45. That's a first down for the Volunteers as Jason Swain hauls it in from Eric Ainge. Zerick Matthews makes the tackle, but not before Swain picks up 11 yards and a Tennessee first down.
And that's a really nice throw by Eric Ainge, because Swain ran the hook pattern in pretty darn good coverage out there. They had zone coverage, but that's a tight area to fit that ball in, Eric. Did a good job hitting his spots there.
2 receivers left, 1 right for Tennessee. No tight end in the game. Quick drop, same play. Swing. Very close to a first down. He picked up at least 9. Ian Hoskins makes the tackle from his strong linebacker spot, but not before Jason Swain picks up at least 9.5.
And that's Tennessee's answer to a running game on first down. Nice short pass to the outside. If they're going to play off these big wide receivers, you can expect Eric to keep standing up and hitting them on short stops and short outs.
Ainge 4 out of 4, 47 yards thus far. Tennessee driving, second, less than 1. Hardesty has the first down inside the 30. Carries it down to the Marshall 27. Juan Underwood makes the tackle, but it's another Tennessee first down, and they mark it at the Thundering Herd 27-yard line.
Well, you can expect Tennessee to try and pound the ball a bit. Underwood's about the only guy Marshall's got that's got any size in there. He goes well over 300. They got him listed at 327. I'd say that's being kind.
There's that reverse. Meacham, they have it smelled out. He gets away from one man, not the other, and almost gets back to the line of scrimmage. Marshall played that one very, very well, and Meacham did a good job of getting back to the line of scrimmage. Actually lost maybe about a foot.
Well, Marshall, as you said, had that smell, that defensive end. He stayed home, didn't go anywhere. He's either real lazy or real smart, because he stayed right where Meacham was going.
You're talking about Albert McClellan, 6'2", 245 pounds, a sophomore. Second down, 1. Second 11. Pass caught by Brett Smith, and not much there. He might have picked up 3 as he hits it down to the 30-yard line.
Well, that's just throwing a nice quick screen out to Meacham. He's got 2 blockers out there. Marshall does a good job of shedding the blocks, slowing things down, giving people a chance to get up and make the tackle. Relatively short game.
Tennessee 3rd and 8. 2 receivers left, 1 right. Chris Brown is in the backfield for Tennessee, along with Montario Hardesty. Ainge is checking off now with 10 seconds on the game clock. 3rd and 8 for the Volunteers.
Marshall acts like they want to come. That's what Ainge is looking at.
And they are. Pass incomplete. The pass was intended for number 12. That's Lucas Taylor. But right on him was Jeremy Rodamy. And it's incomplete, and Tennessee faced now with a 4th down.
That's good tight coverage by Rodamy, because Taylor ran a pretty good route. In fact, he hit the stop and moved outside to give Ainge a lane to throw that football. The defender was just there and made a nice play.
Casey Woods will hold. James Wilhoit will attempt a field goal of about 42 yards. Right down the middle. Let's see if it's good. And it's no good. Wide right. He had the distance, but he hooked it too far to the right side. So with 10:14 to go in the first quarter, Tennessee and Marshall are tied at 0-0. And that's the kind of break that Tennessee did not need. They moved the ball well. They were stalled, and then Wilhoit misses the field goal.
That's the first kick Wilhoit's missed in a while, too. He's 3 for 3 this year, and I believe he hit his last 11, if I'm not mistaken, maybe 12. So missing the field goal, that's new territory for him.
So we will take a break. 10:14 to go here in the first period. It's Tennessee 0, Marshall 0. We'll be back to Neyland Stadium in Knoxville in just a moment. Tennessee and Marshall, no score. 10:14 to go. The Volunteers moved the football well their first possession, but it stalled out at the 20. Boy, what was it? The 25?
That's close enough.
Yeah. Missed a 42-yard field goal. Yep. Ryan Carl, Alex Wilson, and Gerard Mayo are the starting linebackers. Marvin Mitchell is now in there for the Volunteers. So Mitchell is in at middle linebacker. Tennessee 2-1 on the year. They play their first 4 games at home. This is the 4th one. They'll be on the road at Memphis next Saturday at noon at Liberty Bowl Stadium in Memphis, Tennessee.
And Memphis is a team that can be very dangerous. They've got plenty of offensive firepower. Defensively, they've had a few problems. In fact, they recently fired their defensive coordinator, Joe Lee Dunn. I guess it was after the last loss they had. Tommy West, head coach, decided he needed a change, and so no telling what you're going to see from their defense, but their offense is always high-powered.
They blew a 13-point lead and lost at East Carolina. And on Monday, when the team got back together, Coach West fired Joe Lee. He's been one of the top defensive coaches in the SEC for years.
Yeah, he's been around. He's the guy that coaches flying by the seat of his pants. No headset, no anything. He just goes on gut feeling.
Marshall has it first down at 10. Bernard Morris opens at quarterback. Ahmad Bradshaw at tailback. And Morris is changing the play. They'll start at the 25. And he snapped it all the way back to the 5. Morris picks it up, and he's down inside the 3. Xavier Mitchell. Terrible snap from the center, Doug Legursky. A huge loss, 22 yards, and the herd is backed up now to the Marshall 2.5-yard line.
Yeah, not exactly how you want to start your first offensive series. A real wide snap to the right. I thought the X-Man, Xavier Mitchell, might beat the quarterback to the ball. Easiest sack he's ever had.
Second down and East Tennessee to go for Marshall. 32 yards to go on second down. They hand it on a delay to Bradshaw. They rack him up at the line of scrimmage. Marvin Mitchell was there for Tennessee along with Jonathan Hefney. No gain.
Well, they had everybody flowing to the right there, but Hefney came up tight from his safety position. Didn't take the little shake and bake. Does a good job of driving through his legs and tackling him short.
Loss of a yard. It's now third down and 33 for Marshall. Out of the end zone, Morris is going to be tackled. A safety for the Big Orange. Matt McLaughlin got there.
Yeah, I think the X-Man got there first, so I believe he's the first man to make the hit, and then a bunch of volunteers finished the business.
Morris absolutely had no place to go.
And there it is. You see Xavier Mitchell on a nice game there with Turk McBride opening up the hole for him. Came right through the guard area. Bernie Morris didn't have a prayer.
So Tennessee takes a 2-0 lead with 8:32 to go here in the first quarter. And Marshall will kick it off from their 20-yard line, and the Volunteers are going to get it with decent field position. But they'll get it when we come back. Timeout. 8:32 to go in the first period of play. Tennessee has taken a 2-0 lead over Marshall. And we'll be back in just a moment. Boy, I tell you, one bad snap and everything went downhill for Marshall in a hurry.
Well, you know, and that's arguably their best player on the offensive line. Their center is, Doug Legursky. He's a Remington Trophy nominee this year, an All-American nominee, and guy with the most experience up there. And they run out of the shotgun all the time, so it's not something that's new for them. So maybe he got a wet ball or got a little nervous. Who knows?
Jonathan Hefney will drop back in single coverage. He'll stand at the 20-yard line for Tennessee. And it will be, I think, Ian O'Connor to punt it from the 20.
A Knoxville boy.
Several Knoxville kids on this team. 3 of them at least that play a lot.
Well, you got O'Connor. He punts and has done some kicking. And then you've got 2 offensive linemen, Zane Bruin and John Inman. that play quite a bit.
So Ian O'Connor will punt as Tennessee takes a 2-0 lead over Marshall.
And it's a good kick.
A high kick fielded by Hefney at the 12. Tennessee's got a return on. Hefney squeaks past a couple of guys, but not past the second flow of Marshall players, and Tennessee gets it in play. First down and 10 at the 27. Well, Pat, look at the field, and this field is probably, despite over 3 inches of rain, is still in better shape than most other fields around anywhere.
It's in great shape. I talked to Bobby Campbell. Here you go. You see what it's made of. You got 12 inches of sand over gravel. They say this thing drains just like a green at a golf course. 10 minutes after it stops raining, the puddles would go away and the grass is relatively dry.
It looks great from up here. Tifway Bermuda grass. Quick drop. Haynes had it caught by Meacham out to the 32. Like you said, that's that quick running play that Tennessee is not doing, but they're going to the short passing game.
And I think they've showed you in their first series, and with that play there, just exactly what their philosophy is going to be today. They're going to use a short, controlled passing game to complement their running game, and essentially using a lot of short passes as their running game. So that ball was tipped at the line of scrimmage, and it still went right to Meacham. You know things are going good.
Pick up a 5. It'll be second down and 5 from the Tennessee 33. Long snap count. Marshall coming in a hurry. That was intended for Meacham, but over his head. And Marshall was blitzing that time.
Now Marshall ran kind of a zone blitz, and Shavard Greer pulled off the line of scrimmage out into the flat area and read the drop of Haynes. I keep saying Danny Haynes. Eric Haynes didn't pick him up until it was too late, and he got in the way of that pass.
Third down and 5. Haynes 6 out of 8 now. 55 yards through the air for Tennessee. Marshall's bringing people again. This time he completes it. Jason Swain out to the 43. And the Volunteers will get a first down at the 43-yard line.
Just a simple hook pattern with somebody out in the flat. That seems to be Swain's favorite route. And Haynes seems to like to throw it. He runs down there 12, 15 yards and comes back. Gives Haynes a nice lane to throw that football, and he delivered it nice again.
First down, Tennessee. They marked it at the 44. Haynes, plenty of time. Throws it on the right side. Meacham. Meacham has very close to a first down, then lost the first down yardage. They say he stayed inbound. He picked up at least 8 on the play. I think he may have had a first down, but then reversed his field.
Yeah, he tried to make something more than what he had, and Marshall did a good job of pursuing and pinning him in on the sideline, gave him no place to go.
Second down and 1. They say he picked up 9. There's Meacham, who comes out limping. We'll keep our eye on that with Mike Stoll here in just a few moments. In motion to the near side goes Brett Smith. Haynes gives it to Hardesty. Leaps one guy. I think he has the first down. He's going to be very close. Ian Hoskins and Matt Couch make the tackle. He needed a yard. He didn't get it. It'll be third down at about a foot.
And Marshall defense acted like they knew where Tennessee was running the football. It seemed like they sent 4 guys to that exact spot. Couldn't move that many guys out of the hole. Hardesty got flipped over.
So Tennessee faced with a third down situation, but it's less than a yard. Tennessee with Chris Brown, Brad Cottom, and Jeff Cottom. 3 tight ends in the game, and Marshall has called a timeout.
Timeout.
Well, you know what Tennessee's wanting to do with 3 tight ends. They're wanting to line it up and run the football and get the first down, keep the drive going. We'll see if that's what they do when we come back. 5:25 to go in the first quarter. Tennessee leads Marshall 2-0. We'll be back to Neyland Stadium in Knoxville in just a moment. physically and with the clock, they have totally dominated this first quarter.
Yeah, they really have. And this is a situation that you got to be, Marshall has to be careful, because 3rd and short, you're on their side of the field. You're probably feeling pretty good about your defense. This is a good opportunity for Tennessee to fake the run and try and hit the home run off this short yardage. If you don't hit it, you still got 4th and a foot, and you think you can probably make that on 4th down.
I would imagine that thought has gone through Coach Cutcliffe's mind.
And it might have gone through Marshall's coach's minds, too. That might have been why he called the timeout.
Well, we're now clear to play, and it's 3rd down and about a foot. Now they mark it for play. Ainge calls the play, and Tennessee breaks from the huddle. Swain to the right. Hardesty is the setback along with the fullback. That's Corey Anderson. They give it straight ahead. There's the fake. The pass. 10, 5, checkerboard. Touchdown, Big Orange. Jason Swain. And Pat Ryan, you called it, 47 yards from Eric Ainge to Jason Swain.
Well, it was a perfect situation. A beautiful fake from the line, the running backs, and Eric Ainge. I couldn't tell up here that he really still had the football. Swain does a good job of coming in, faking the stock block, and then losing his guy at the middle of the field, and it's just a really nice touch pass over the top. Hit him perfectly in stride for 6 points.
Swain didn't even look up until that ball was ready to land in his hands. Beautifully thrown by Ainge. Wilhoit's extra point is good. And with 5:17 to go in the first period of play, Tennessee leads Marshall 9-0. As Tennessee strikes for the home run, 47 yards, Eric Ainge to Jason Swain on a 3rd and a foot.
But just a beautifully conceived play. It was run to perfection. I mean, a lot of times when you try and run a play action play like that and try and fool the defense, you don't have guys that are good actors. In that situation, Swain did a great job of acting like he was going to block. Ainge did a great job acting like he handed the ball off, burying it in his belly, sucking the defense in, and Marshall took the bait.
And that bait has led to a 9-0 Tennessee lead. The Volunteers have now 122 yards passing and 6 yards rushing. And Marshall has a minus yardage total.
And it all started with a bad snap.
Yep.
So I'm sure they're hoping for a better result this series.
Number 28, Chubb Small, and number 24, Emmanuel Span will return the kick for Marshall as Wilbur kicks it off from the 35. Got a good foot into it, about 5 yards deep into the end zone, and Marshall says we'll bring it out to the 20. The Herd will put it in play, 1st down and 10 from the 20-yard line.
Hey, where's the Buffalo?
He's here in Knoxville somewhere.
I mean, why would you bring your Buffalo with you if he's not at the game?
Oh, you talking about the Buffalo? I thought you were talking about Stoll.
No.
Oh, well,
There's Ainge. Oh, he just waits to the last second, lays it up. He likes it. I want to know where the Buffalo's at.
He's got a microphone down there somewhere. Morris, the keeper. Tennessee, they've got that smell out. They'll drop him for a 3-yard loss. Gerard Mayo says, no, sir, you're not running the football on the option against me.
Well, Tennessee's seen a lot of option over the last couple of weeks, or at least the quarterback running the ball a lot. Morris that time spun out, came down the line, tried to get some himself. We just strung it out to the sideline.
Seth Cook, here's your lineup. David Ziegler, Legursky, Leggett, and Jones up front. Ahmad Bradshaw, the running back. Shop, Span, Fitzgerald, and Morris. And, of course, Morris is the quarterback. Bernard Morris. 2nd and 12. Play action. Morris rolling right. Throwing deep. Got a man down there. He's wide open at the 40. it'll be a Marshall first down. And Tennessee just left him wide open. Hiram Moore was the receiver.
Well, Hiram Moore goes down the field and puts a little stop move on our safety, Jonathan Hefney. Hefney bites up on it, and then he takes it straight down the field. Hefney knew as soon as it happened that we talked about taking the bait. He took the bait, and the quarterback laid it in there.
Tennessee watches as Marshall goes 47 yards, and they're down now to the Tennessee 33, first down. Morris hands to Bradshaw. Got a little running room around the right, and the penalty marker comes in late as Bradshaw advances to the 30. Marvin Mitchell, Gerard Mayo make the tackle for Tennessee, but let's see what the penalty's about.
Well, that's going to be on Wesley Jones for holding. Pretty sure he's the right tackle.
Holding on the offense. Number 78. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Repeat first down.
Yeah, it looked like Bradshaw really had a nice lane outside, but the reason he had that nice lane is because Wesley Jones had a hammer lock on Xavier Mitchell out there on the end. Xavier couldn't get away from him, and Bradshaw went around the corner. The official saw it at the last second, threw the flag.
So we back it up 10 yards to the 43, and now it's first down and 20. And the gate's about a 3-yard pickup, by the way, for Bradshaw. Morris. Again, they hand it to Bradshaw, and he picks up a couple. That's it. Gerard Mayo makes the tackle on Bradshaw. He gets somewhere between 2 and 3 yards. Here's your defense. Mitchell and Reynolds at the ends. Matt McLaughlin, who had the safety earlier. Turk McBride at the tackles. Linebackers for Coach John Chavis. Ryan Carl, Marvin Mitchell, Gerard Mayo. Mayo leads the SEC in sacks with 4. And here's your secondary. Stewart, Morley, Hefner, and Wade. Second down, about 18. And another penalty marker on the play. Illegal procedure, I think, is coming up against Marshall.
False
and
start.
it is.
Number 78 on the offense. A 5-yard penalty. Repeat second down.
Wesley Jones, who was hit with a holding penalty a moment ago, jumped.
There's nothing worse for an offense that's trying to get something going and hit a big play to start going backwards. Had good field position now. They're outside the 45-yard line.
Second down, 22 for Marshall. Morris might have been a mix-up. Tennessee snows him under, loses about 3. Mayo was there. We'll see where they mark the football. Also helping out Turk McBride, number 90.
And they're still going backwards. Well, Tennessee brought the corner blitz that time. It really didn't have much impact on this play because Morris was coming left. And like you said, Randy, Bradshaw thought he was doing something else because they kind of ran into each other. And after that happened, there was nothing there.
Third down and 24. Minute 35 to go in the first period. Tennessee up 9-0. Delay. Bradshaw to the 45. Picks up maybe 2 or 3. That's it. Demetrius Morley. And Chubb Small was the ball carrier, not Bradshaw. But Morley makes the tackle. And it's 4th down and 21 for Marshall.
That's a good play by Morley. He did a good job of filling up the line of scrimmage, taking on Small before he got too far.
Ian O'Connor will punt. And he pooches it. Fair catch at the 10. And no flag, but a Marshall player kind of waved at Hefney on that play. 34-yard punt, no return. And Tennessee puts it in play. First down and 10 at the Volunteer 10-yard line.
Well, Marshall kind of flipped the field on Tennessee with that long pass play. But they're down at the 10-yard line now. Let's see. This would be a good opportunity for Tennessee to get a running game going and get some field position, even if they don't get the touchdown, and be able to move it down the field.
Marcus Coker, good yardage, crosses the 15, picks up 5, maybe 6. Ian Hoskins makes the tackle. Robert Meacham is back in the game for Tennessee after he left. He was feeling ill on the sideline, so I think he missed the last series, but he's back in there.
He ate too much pizza in that rain delay. That's what Tennessee's looking for. 5 yards on first down, 5 or 6 yards. That move in the line of scrimmage, that's what they want out of their running game.
And that will be the end of the first quarter. The clock runs out. It's been a good first period of play for Tennessee here in Knoxville, though it was about an hour late getting started. Tennessee leads Marshall 9-0. And let's swap into the field, and we'll have the second quarter for you here at Neyland Stadium in Knoxville coming up. Your score after one period, Tennessee 9, Marshall 0. We'll be back. As you mentioned, if you just joined us, we were delayed 55 minutes. That's the official time, by rain and lightning in the area. And looking at the radar, there were more cells and more storms headed this way, but the sun's been out for about the last half hour.
Oh, it's been beautiful. Great weather, no wind down on the field to speak of. The flags are barely blowing up top. Tennessee's passing game's in pretty good gear. Defense is playing good football. All's good for a quarter. We just hope the stuff stays away.
Let's take a look at what it looked like earlier today. It was raining very, very hard about about an hour and a half ago. And we were nowhere close to playing football here.
Well, yeah, they talked at one time, Randy, about possibly the possibility was there that they could postpone this game, which I really had never heard of. But the way the Lightning was, they talked about that the possibility was very real.
And the fact that the Lightning was here at that moment is not the reason they were talking about postponing it, but they looked at the weather forecast and the radar, and there was no clear area without lightning for several hours. But obviously there is. David Holbert is in at fullback. Josh McNeil in at center now for Tennessee as the Volunteers take over first down and 10. Actually, they have it now 2nd and 4 at the 16-yard line.
Well, Josh McNeil's in at center. They want to get him some more playing time. He's a very talented kid, redshirt freshman at Mississippi, all everything in high school. Everybody in the country was vying for this kid. Tennessee got him. They want to see what he's got.
So Tennessee puts it in play now, 2nd down and 4 from the 16-yard line. LaMarcus Coker, who picked up 6 on the first carry of the day for him, is still in there. Holbert is in motion. We give it to Coker again, who gets past the 20 and has a first down. LaMarcus Coker looking pretty good at that running back spot. Curtis Keys makes the tackle. Minus 23 rushing yards for Marshall, 49 passing, total yardage, a big edge for Tennessee. 5 first downs, and Tennessee pretty dominant in the clock as well. No penalties for the Volunteers. Michael Frog is now in at guard, and Josh McNeil is at center. Again, Holbert in motion. Here's the give. Coker, big hole. He gets 3. Tennessee's got some plans to work on that running game, too. Albert McClellan makes the tackle. Big 6'2", 245-pound sophomore.
Yeah, and they're giving Holbert a chance at the fullback spot. That's one place they haven't been real happy with. They want to get more production blocking out of that position. The last 2 plays, he had a chance to blow somebody up and cut them both times. That's not what you're looking at for your fullback. You want to see him blow people up.
2nd down 7, Marshall coming, and the pass is caught. but very little gain for Chris Brown. He's caught at the 25. It's a gain of maybe 1, maybe 2.
But you know, that's not all bad. Ainge saw him coming off the corner there. He was, you know, he was unblocked. His protection didn't pick him up. He had to get rid of it quick, and he made something positive out of something that could have been negative.
I'm not used to it being this quiet here at Neyland Stadium.
Well, isn't that the truth?
They sold 104,818 tickets, but I would say about half that's here. Ainge, third down, over the middle, pass caught, first down. Brett Smith, the receiver, he crosses the 40 and gets it out to about the 42, and it'll be a Tennessee first down after a 16-yard pickup from Ainge to Brett Smith.
Well, Brett Smith's coming out of the slot. He just comes into the middle and hooks it up between the linebackers. That play, David Cutcliffe ran that play for all the people that call in and say Tennessee never throws over the middle. So he said, here you go.
Yep. There's some of the empty stands and the crowd here today. First down, Tennessee. Ainge gives it to the fullback, Holbert. Or that's Coker. Coker got the call. Picks up good yardage on first down. Matt Couch makes the tackle from his weak linebacker spot for Marshall.
You know, Coker's doing a good job. He's a good north-south runner. He doesn't mess around. He makes a cut, and he goes hard. Covers it up with both arms, doesn't take a chance of a fumble, and hits it in there tough.
Pickup of about 3, second down and 7. Ainge out of the shotgun. And it's incomplete. The pass was intended for Chris Brown.
Well, that was just short, more or less. That was a little flat pattern out to the tight end. They had blitzed up the middle, so they had perfect coverage for that.
Ainge now 10, or actually 11 of 14. Ainge on third down and about 6. Pass incomplete. A little bit behind the intended receiver, Jason Swain. C.J. Spillman was there to cover and to break that up.
That's good coverage by the cornerback. They showed a zone, double zone coverage out there, but the cornerback followed Swain in there. Ainge saw him and tried to really blow one in there, but he threw it behind the receiver. He had the ball up front. He probably would have had it. He did.
Tennessee will punt. Emmanuel Spann will stand at the 15. Britton Colquitt will get it away and gets it off the right side of his foot. It's going to take a Tennessee bounce all the way inside the 10. It rolls to the 8, and that's where Marshall puts it in play. First down and 10. 47-yard punt by Colquitt. Not a great looking punt, but when it hit the ground, Tennessee got a good bounce. 11:54 to go here in the first half. Tennessee leads Marshall 9-0. There's a shot of Robert Meacham on the sideline, who was ill earlier in the day, but he seems to be okay. He's had a pretty good day thus far for the Volunteers. Pretty good season so far.
No, he's had a great season.
Ainge, play action. Puts it out to the right.
They're doing a good job of getting him the football, because he's a big guy. You know, you want to get him out in space, give him a chance to run with the football. He does a good job of shedding blocks, as evidenced by the California game, the 2 long touchdowns he had. He's had a heck of a year. Caught 17 passes coming in today. I think he's probably got 4 today. Oh, there it is. He does have 4.
Let's go down to Mike Stoll and hear what he has to say about Robert Meacham. Mike?
Well, Robert Meacham's just fine. Randy, he just had a little bit of maybe a stomach virus. Kind of took a knee and got back up. He's a lot better now. He's ready to play.
Marshall, first down from the 8. They give it to Bradshaw. He goes right up the middle for 2, and that's it. Tennessee stops him. Robert Ayers, who is the backup right defensive end, is in there now, and he makes the tackle.
And Bradshaw's a good back. This guy, he could play for a lot of teams. He could play in the SEC. He was second in the Conference USA last year in rushing. Also caught 56 passes last year. So, you know, they use him out of the backfield in a lot of different ways.
Second down 8, high formation behind Morris, the quarterback. Here's Morris. They get to Bradshaw. He cuts back to the right side, gets very close to a first down and is pushed back. It'll be third down and about 2 for Marshall. They're going to mark it at the 16-yard line. But did a great job again by Bradshaw, who found everything clogged up in the middle and bounced it out to the right side.
Yeah, he bounced it out. Looked like it wasn't going to have anything up the middle. He bounces outside of Mayo, but Tennessee does a good job of coming up. Who's that? Hefney comes up, but it's a heck of a hit on him, and then the rest of the Volunteers clean him up.
Third down and 2. Bradshaw's carried it 5 times for 8 yards.
Crowd trying to make some noise.
Morris keeps it to the right and steps out of bounds, but I think he got the first down. We'll see where he stopped.
And they're going to call a late hit.
Flag on the play. Jonathan Hefney, I think, is the guilty party. We'll see.
Defense. 15-yard penalty from the end of the run. First down.
Well, here you go. You got the quarterback out of the shotgun running the option this way. Looks like just a pure quarterback keeper, and he does. And that, I don't know, from that replay, it didn't look like he was really out of bounds that far. That's looked like Marvin Mitchell was the guy that got him, or Jonathan Hefney.
Well, they called it on Hefney, so we'll see. Nevertheless, Marshall has a first down out to the 35 after the penalty. It's only the second first down for Marshall this afternoon. First down and 10, Marshall at the Thundering Herd 35-yard line. Chubb Small is in at running back. There's the play action. Morris throwing it. Pass is caught at the 42. He stays in bounds. Good yardage that time. Pick up about 6. Emmanuel Spann, the receiver.
Yeah, that was good coverage out there by Wade. He was all over him. It's just he was behind him and couldn't get through him to get to the football.
Actually going to say he got 8. Stepped out or was shoved out further up the field than I thought he was. Or stopped. Second down and 2, Marshall. Tight end for the Thundering Herd is in the backfield with quarterback Morris. Handoff straight ahead, first down. They give it to Chubb Small, and he picks up 3. Gerard Mayo and Jonathan Hefney make the tackle, but Marshall is moving now. The Herd has another first down. They're getting very close to midfield. This drive started now at the Marshall 8-yard line.
Well, 15 yards of it was the penalty, which helped out a lot. But Mayo's in on a lot of tackles, has been since the season opened up. You said before he leads the SEC in sacks, and he's in the top 10 in the SEC in tackles, as in about 3 or 4 of the balls. Hefney and Mitchell and Ryan Carl.
First down, Morris out of the shotgun for Marshall. The draws. Chubb Small was held up by number 99 for Tennessee. That's J.T. Mapu, and it allowed him to have some of the linebackers catch up to him, mainly Gerard Mayo.
You're right. J.T. made that play because he slowed the running back up, made him move a little farther left than he wanted to. When he had to cut back, that gave Mayo a chance to make that tackle.
Still picked up 2 yards. Let's take a look at it. There's Mapu getting the grab. Held him up until Mayo made the tackle. All right, pick up a 2. Second down 8. Line of scrimmage just shy of midfield. Two receivers left, 1 right for the Herd. Morris optioning left, keeps it to the 50. There's a hole. First down. Morris still on his feet, finally shoved out of bounds at the 30. Big yardage on that option play. Antoine Stewart knocked him out, but not before he picks up big first down yardage.
Well, that's a good play by Morris. He does a good job coming down the line of scrimmage. Demetrius Morley's right there to make the play. He's on the quarterback, and he puts a nice fake on him, and he left a little something there on the turf for everybody, and Morris just took off down the sideline.
First down at the 30. Marshall moving to football, their most impressive drive of the day. Tennessee leads it 9-0. Straight ahead, not much there, maybe a yard. Xavier Mitchell after a 2-yard pickup. For Marshall, Ahmad Bradshaw gets 2. It's 2nd down and 8.
Well, we talked about Marshall's defensive lines being a little bit on the small side. That's not the case for their offensive line. They're huge. They go along the lines of roughly what Tennessee has. You know, 6'4", 330, 6'5", 330. They're all 300-pounders or more and move pretty good.
2nd down, Tennessee coming with a blitz. Morris over the middle. It's going to be incomplete. Almost intercepted by Antoine Stewart. Then on the deflection, almost caught by Hiram Moore.
Well, Morris made a bad decision to throw that football, and you're right. Antoine Stewart was right there to make the play, just didn't convert. Hefty was there first. He ran right past the football. I think he lost it. But Stewart's right there to make the play, just couldn't convert. Those are the kinds that you got to have that just are drive killers.
3rd down and 8. Marshall 1 out of 3 on the day so far in 3rd down conversions. 9 plays, 65 yards this drive. Marshall still has not hit pay dirt. Morris over the middle, caught by the tight end, short of a 1st down, but there's a flag on the play.
That's holding or roughing the passer where that's at.
Turk McBride, I think, is the guilty party.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer. Number 90 on the defense. 15-yard penalty. 1st down.
Well, that's unfortunate because Ryan Carl made a great tackle in the open field to hold him short. We're going to look at it here.
May have been blocked into.
Turk comes around the left side.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that's a bad play. You know who did it? John Inman. That's a web product from here in Knoxville. Held him and more or less slung him into the quarterback. That's not a good call by the official.
Terrible call. Terrible call.
And Marshall would be lining up for a field goal at this point. Instead, they had the ball 1st down on the 12-yard line.
First down at the Tennessee 12. Marshall's most impressive drive of the day. Here's Morris on the keeper. Morris inside the 10 to the 5 down to the 4. Gerard Mayo makes the tackle, with Morris on the keeper gets good 1st down yardage.
Well, you can be sure we're going to see more of that now. That's twice they've run it with some success. Did a good job of chopping the defensive end, getting him down, and then we've got a quarterback again in position to make the play. He just lets the quarterback play him instead of the other way around.
2nd down. They can make another 1st down by getting to the Tennessee 1 following that 6-yard pickup by Morris. Morris straight ahead. Bradshaw to the 1. He's got a 1st down, and it will be 1st and goal for Marshall. Jonathan Hefney made the tackle. But you talk about hitting that hole quickly. Bradshaw certainly did.
Well, I've watched some tape of Bradshaw, and he's a north-south guy. He's fast and he's quick, but he likes to get it, and he likes to go north-south. He showed that right there. Had a good hole there and didn't hesitate.
1st down and goal, Marshall. It's inside the Tennessee 1. The sneak by Morris. Touchdown. Marshall gets it in as Morris on the keeper. And just like that, Tennessee dominated the 1st period statistically. They were up 9-0, and now it's 9-6.
And that was, what was that, 92-yard drive? 92-yard drive with a couple personal foul penalties to help out, obviously, but still, they made the plays, converted on a couple third down situations.
Binswanger will attempt the extra point, and the kick is good. And with 5:28 to go here in the first half, Marshall is on the board. Tennessee leads the Thundering Herd 9-7. The difference now is that first quarter safety. And guess what? It's raining in Knoxville. And they do have computers, and they are watching the internet, and they are watching the live radar, so they will know if it gets within 6 miles.
You know, years ago, I mean, we just started this game on time, and played it no matter what. That's just, you know, that's the way it was done. But technology, what can you say?
Tennessee leads at 9-7, 5:28. LaMarcus Coker and Lucas Taylor will receive as Binswanger, who kicked the extra point for Marshall, will kick off. Now the rain is let up.
That's what everybody's cheering about, I think.
It was hailing here about 2 hours ago, right before game time. There was hail, and it looked like it was sleeting. Strange weather. Taylor and Coker. They kick it on the ground. Picked up by Holbert, one of the Tennessee upmen. Flag on the play. And I believe Marshall was offside. I believe Tennessee will probably take that penalty and move 5 yards ahead and go with it.
Yeah, they had the option of adding 5 yards to where they've got the football. Isn't that right?
I think so.
They've changed a lot of these kicking rules. Used to be you had to kick it again and move it back 5 yards. And they felt like that.
Kicking team. 5-yard penalty will be added to the end of the run. First down.
So Tennessee with a good field position here. Let's take a look at that long touchdown drive. Morris picking up a chunk of yards on the keeper.
And here he goes around the right side, doing another good job of faking out the defensive back, taking it up strong, and then takes the ball and dives over into the end zone.
Tennessee first down at the 41. Ames calling the play. 5:03, clock moving. That's the time remaining in the first half. Hardesty, no gain. Loss of a couple. Loss of one. Albert McClellan knocked him down.
Well, somebody missed Big Albert because he came in untouched and met Hardesty in the backfield.
2nd and 11 after the loss of one. I formation behind Ames. 2 receivers left, 1 right. Tennessee did run it well the last possession they had. Ames over the middle. Caught. First down. Brett Smith inside the Marshall 40-yard line. Beautifully done by Ames with great pass protection that time by the Tennessee offensive line. J.J. Johnson makes the tackle, but not before he picks up 21.
Yeah, that's a good play-action pass. And just a laser shot from Ames. Does a good job of waiting until Smith finds the open area between the linebackers. Meacham had gone down the right sideline, cleared the safety out, hits him for the big gainer.
Tennessee, Ames, straight ahead. Hardesty tripped up at the line, loss of a yard.
There's big Josh Johnson. He's the leading tackler on Marshall's football team. He broke through and forced Hardesty to the outside. I guess that's Hardesty. Missed the tackle, but slowed him up, so the other guys cleaned it up.
Loss of 2 by Hardesty. He's still in there. 2nd down and 12. Tennessee leads at 9-7. Ames batted down at the line by cornerback J.J. Johnson. 3rd and 12.
Well, cornerback's up on the line of scrimmage, and he reads the play. He reads the drop, and that's what you're taught to do up there is get your hands up, an offensive lineman, and fullbacks are taught to get your hands down, and the way you do that, you hit them right in the midsection. Holbert was late getting to the cornerback.
Ames 12 out of 16, 162 yards, but the Vols are faced with a 3rd and 12. Pressure on Ames. Pass deflected and then caught by Tennessee. Swain made the reflection. The pass was intended for Brett Smith. A pickup of 20 and a first down. My goodness.
Swain comes up limping a little bit.
Watch this.
Now this is great. Ainge will probably tell you that he was throwing to Swain, but he wasn't. He was throwing to Brett Smith, and he does a good job of slapping it to his teammate for a fortunate first down.
Ames hands it off inside. Hardesty to the 10, to the 5. Checkerboard. Touchdown, Big Orange. Montario Hardesty, 20 yards. And the Volunteers have extended their lead to 15-7.
And that's a good drink of water for for a bunch of fans that have been thirsty. That's a running play we've been waiting for. Does a great job cutting the ball back and then just busts through 2 tackles at the 5-yard line to take it in for the touchdown.
Wilhoit will attempt the extra point. Woods will hold. And it's there. 2 minutes, 52 seconds to go here in the first half, and Tennessee has answered Marshall's first touchdown of the day with their second. It's 16-7. The Volunteers with a 9-point lead. There's Montario Hardesty. 4th consecutive game that he has scored a touchdown.
Yeah, that was a nice cutback run by him and a good seal by the offensive line on the backside, giving him area to run.
Arguably his most impressive run of the year, I might add. 20 yards for the touchdown. Timeout, 2:52 to go. Tennessee leads Marshall 16-7. We'll be back in a moment. Wilhoit will kick it off for the Volunteers. Emmanuel Spann and Chubb Small will receive it.
And here's Ames hitting Brett Smith right across the middle. And here he is. Little ding-dong play over to Swain on the sideline, and then Hardesty does the rest, busting 2 tackles and taking it in.
And it is flat coming down the rain right now. Wilhoit kicks it off. Hits it pretty good. It squibs and hits at the 10. Picked up at the 5 by Small, who cuts it to the outside. Good return. Fumbled it out of bounds. Might have been the ground causing the fumble anyway, but nevertheless good field position to start after a 33-yard return by Emmanuel Spann.
Couldn't tell who made that tackle, but they did a good job of busting that football loose. Unfortunately, it went straight out of bounds.
And now it's not raining. Just every now and then it pours very hard and then it stops.
In Tennessee's defense, their job now is to stop number 14. If they can stop him, they'll start the Marshall offense.
Morris dropped it, picked it up, gave it to Bradshaw. Very little, if any, gain. He might have picked up 1 or 2. Tennessee's Turk McBride stops him up the middle. Let's check in now with former Tennessee All-Southeastern Conference lineman Mike Stoll. Mike.
Well, Randy, I think it's raining a little bit down here. I'm getting a little bit wet, and you guys probably are even in the dry. But as far as what John Chavis was saying, he was getting after his players for giving up a long drive like that. When he gets mad, his players listen. We'll see if they respond on this drive.
2nd down 8. Morris.
Yes.
Stopped at the 30. He loses the 2 that Bradshaw picked up a moment ago. DeMonte Bolden, the sophomore from Chattanooga, Tennessee, made the tackle.
Well, that's a guy they've been wanting to get in the lineup. You know, he's a fresh, you know, he's a guy that they say has a lot of talent, but they've just been waiting for him to be ready to play. That time, Morris tried to run the reverse option again, which he's had success with. The last series, Bolden crashed through and got him from behind.
Timeout called by Tennessee. They'd like to get another shot at the end zone. 1:48 to go.
Well, they have plenty of time. This is a big play, 3rd and 10. I mean, this is where you've got to get your stop. Tennessee has not been very good on 3rd down stops in the last 2 games. You know, their percentage is not very high, so, or is too high. Let's put it that way. This is a stop, 3rd and 10. You got to have to give your offense a chance to get the football back and go get some more.
We invite you to get a fast break debate of the hottest sports stories in the Southeast on Sports Night, weeknights at 6 and 11 Eastern, right here only on CSS. Marshall is 1 out of 4 in 3rd down conversions for the afternoon. There is 1 minute 48 seconds to be played in the first half. Tennessee with a 16-7 lead. Third down and 10. Morris will operate out of the shotgun. Takes it, rolls left. Dumps it off on the left side, tapped out of bounds. Knocked away by Jonathan Hefney. And it will be 4th down for the Thundering Herd.
Yeah, good play by Hefney. Quarterback rolled away from the pressure. We had good pressure come from the left side. Xavier Mitchell beat his man. He got taken down, got no flag. But they made him roll out, and Hefney was in good shape to defend that sideline pass.
Jonathan Hefney will be back deep to receive the punt by Ian O'Connor. High snap. He gets it away. Pretty good kick. It's going to bounce. And Hefney's got to watch and let it roll down to the 16-yard line. That's where the Volunteers get it with 1 minute and 28 seconds to go in the first half.
That's a heck of a kick, considering the snap. I mean, that's a play that could conceivably be blocked. He does a good job of going high, then boots it and bottles Tennessee up at the 16-yard line.
We got 52 yards of it, despite the high snap.
Pretty good. I didn't realize we got two Knoxville kickers in this ball game.
That's right. Clock moving, 1:19. Tennessee still has 2 timeouts. Flare it out here, caught. First down, out of bounds. Montario Hardesty did a great job of catching that little floater from Eric Ainge.
There's a nice screen play and got some good blocking out front by Sears and Ligon, I believe, got out there in front of him, gave him a little something, got him a chance to get past the first down marker.
Minute to go. Tennessee first down. Ainge back to throw again, going for the home run ball down the sideline. Incomplete. Intended for Jason Swain. Cyric Matthews defending on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, that's the same play that they hit Brett Smith going across the field on the other side in the previous drive, and Swain was running free down the sideline on that play. So I think they felt like they would try it this time, see if they could get him again that time. Good coverage by Matthews.
Let's take a look at the end of that play right here.
Well, Swain holds up, hoping to be able to come back underneath and snatch that ball while the defender goes by. It was just a little too far.
Hardesty stopped after a gain of about 2. It'll be Albert McClellan making the tackle. And now Tennessee faced with 3rd.
Timeout.
And the Volunteers call time with 46 seconds to go in the first half.
Did Tennessee call timeout or did Marshall call timeout?
I think Marshall did.
Yeah, Marshall wants to stun. You know, Marshall, they're in a situation now. If they stop Tennessee on this 3rd down play, they've got a chance to at least get it to return a kick or run maybe 1 play.
Marshall still has 1 timeout left. Tennessee still has 2. Tennessee's defense has played very, very well, except for just a couple of plays. But today they were awesome in the first quarter.
Oh, yeah, Xavier Mitchell and McLaughlin in for the safety. You see him burying Morris again, running up. There's your play by DeMonte Bolden, catching Morris again on the reverse option. There's your chief over there. He's scratching his head. Okay, what do we got going here? What am I going to do next? Those coaches, they never rest. You know that. No, I mean, they don't care.
Very seldom ever smile.
It doesn't matter how good it's going. They're always worried about something.
3rd down and 8 coming up for the Volunteers. 46 ticks left in the first half. Tennessee leads at 16-7. Hardesty still in the backfield with Ames on a 3rd down and 8.
Tennessee may just run this out.
Ames in trouble. Tried to dump it to Corey Anderson. It's incomplete. 4th down. Who was in charge of blocking Shavar Greer?
You know, that's a good question. Whoever it was got a failing grade on that play because he came clean. Ames almost got sacked. He does a good job of knowing he's got a running back there. I believe that was Corey Anderson's man, and he didn't get him. And Ames just tried to dump the ball to him.
4th down, 40 seconds to go. Oh, beautiful booming kick. Marshall had nobody back there. He's going to take a bounce all the way inside the 10 to the 7.5-yard line. Beautiful kick by Britton Colquitt. 63 yards on the kick.
And no return. You talk about good for your stat line. Those the kickers, they love those. I believe this is an instance where Marshall will just sit on it, be content to go in down 16-7. I don't think you'll see him trying anything in this situation down inside the 10-yard line.
Marshall will likely take a knee and be happy to go in down 16-7. But you never know. Well, they're not going to take a knee. Bradshaw carries, gets to the 10. Marvin Mitchell, Gerard Mayo make the tackle, picks up somewhere between 2 and 3 yards, and the clock's going to roll inside 10 seconds, and that will be it. We go to the locker room for a 15-minute halftime rather than the 20-minute normally we have. Tennessee leads Marshall 16-7 here at Neyland Stadium in Knoxville. And we'll take a break. We'll be back with our halftime activities here at Neyland Stadium in a moment. Tennessee leads Marshall 16-7. Tennessee up 16-7 over Marshall in the first half. Let's take a look at the stats, Pat Ryan, as the Volunteers lead it by 9. They've had a couple of different 9. Before we do stats, let's check in with Mike Stoll and Coach Fulmer. Mike?
Yeah, thanks a lot. Coach Fulmer talking about what you did in the first half, came out offensively, did pretty well. What did you see good so far?
Well, we're throwing the football and protecting the football reasonably well. You know, we need to run the ball a little bit better. Defensively, we give up 2 option plays and 2 penalties to give them the score, basically. So I'm expecting our defense to shut them out the rest of the way and offensively to play better. Just play more consistent. They've gotten their hands on a couple balls. Can't do that.
Okay, great. Good luck to you, Coach. Well, Randy, Coach Fulmer, pretty intense inside. He made it pretty clear. He wants these guys to get out there and hit somebody. He wants to run the football. He said that for a couple weeks. Still haven't been able to do it. Watch and see if they can get it done in the second half.
I'm surprised he didn't want you to suit up, Mike. I guarantee you. He was ready to go. Rushing yards, Tennessee 43. Not bad, but Pat Ryan, 20 of those came on that one touchdown run by Montario Hardesty. 193 yards passing for Eric Ainge, as the Volunteers have 11 first downs to 7 from Marshall. Tennessee and Marshall penalties, not much of an edge, and then of course not much of an edge really in game management, time of possession. Now let's look at the highlights of the first half.
Well, here's your first one. Yeah, here's your first one. A little trick play on 3rd and short, pass to Swain. Then you've got Morris going over from the 1-yard line for a touchdown. And Hardesty taking it off left tackle, breaking tackles, going into the end zone. Here we got some pretty good defense right there. Demetrius Morley, Marvin Mitchell stopping them up tight. Then DeMonte Bolton coming in from the backside, getting Bernie Morris.
Tennessee will be on defense, and Wilhoit nails this one about 10 yards deep through the end zone, and Marshall will take it first down and 10 at their own 20. Well, I tell you, that made me want to, go out and tackle somebody. I mean, he fired up, and of course you could see on the sidelines in the first half the way Coach Chavis was getting upset.
Well, you could see when Mike talked to him, he asked him, "What have you done well?" And he just kind of looked at him, and he wasn't too enthused about anything. You could tell. They've thrown the ball for 190 yards, and only rushed it for 40 some. So he wants better production.
There you see the first half possession for Marshall. 1 touchdown, 2 punts, a safety. So not really that much production from Marshall. But Tennessee will get a chance to redeem itself right here. Morris out of the shotgun, passes caught by the tight end out past the 25. Matt Morris, the wideout, makes the tackle, and he picks up about 6. Second down and 4.
And I'll tell you what else. Tennessee's going to want to get more pressure from their front 4. They don't want to have to blitz every time just to get pressure on the quarterback. They need to get some pressure just from 4 guys. That time didn't get much.
Second down, about 4.5, maybe 5. Morris gives to Bradshaw, bounces to the left. Still on his feet. He will be stopped shy of the first down, but not much. He picked up at least 3. It'll be 3rd and 1. Antonio Reynolds and Gerard Mayo team to make the tackle for the Volunteers.
Yeah, Bradshaw does a good job of breaking tackles there. He didn't have much at the line of scrimmage. Jumped left, broke a good tackle there, and kept driving forward for 2 extra that he probably should have had.
3rd down, less than 1. Matt McLaughlin lining up, 6'2", 290 over the middle. To Bradshaw. He gets the first down, crosses the 30 to the 31. Ryan Carl and Gerard Mayo make the tackle, but Bradshaw gets the Marshall first down.
He's a hard runner. I said before, he's shifty, but he likes to go north and south. Got us going to the right a little bit, and then he took it straight up the field. He knew where the first down was, and that's exactly where he went.
There's Ahmad Bradshaw, 24 yards rushing, 11 carries. Has not done what he has done against other people. Here's the give. Bradshaw works his way out to the right. Big hole. Runs over one Tennessee player. Is going to be stopped shy of the first down, but he picks up 9. Gerard Mayo makes the tackle, along with help from Jonathan Hepney. He lowered that shoulder and put somebody on their fanny.
Like I said, he likes to bring it. Xavier Mitchell got caught up inside, and so did Gerard Mayo. He comes back and helps make the tackle, but he got caught up in the wash. He needs to be outside there. He's out where he's supposed to be. He makes that tackle at the line of scrimmage.
Second down and 1. They give it to Chubb Small. First down, out to midfield, and out of bounds he goes.
It's just good hard running by Chubb Small. He's a little short guy, about 200.
That was Bradshaw.
Well, that was Bradshaw.
Yeah. Small is coming in the game. My bad.
Okay, well, Bradshaw does a good job. Another cutback run by him. Mayo is there. He just can't convert on the tackle. He runs right through it. Good strong running by Bradshaw.
Inside Tennessee territory. First down at the 49. Morris. They hand it again, this time to Small, and this time Tennessee stuffs him on the left side. Marvin Mitchell stops him after he picks up a yard. So it'll be second down and 9. Clock moving, 11:42 to go. Tennessee with a 16-7 lead.
Well, this is just what Marshall had in mind. They deferred to start the game. They wanted the football to start the second half. And when you do that, it's imperative that you come out and get something done offensively. They are moving the ball well.
Second down, 9. Play action. They're coming after Morris. He dumps it off. Got the screen to the right. shy of the first down, but not by much. The intended receiver picks up 8 yards.
Yeah, I believe that was Cody Slate, the tight end. He ran
Cody Slate.
Yeah, ran the bootleg out to the right side. He was under pressure. Tennessee was coming after him, Mitchell and Mayo, but he did a good job of getting it off to his tight end. Pulled up just short of the first down.
That was Will Alden, backup fullback. Third, less than 1. We give it to Bradshaw. He picks up 2. He's got the first down, and Marshall continues to pound that ball the way that Coach Fulmer would love to see Tennessee do. There's Bradshaw.
He just found a little crack there on the left side. Dove through it to keep the drive alive.
First down, Marshall. This drive started at the 20 for the Herd. Morris calls timeout. I'm not so sure he got that call before the clock hit 0, but he did.
Marshall. That's their first timeout.
First timeout for Marshall this half. They have 2 left. And it comes at the 10-minute, 11-second mark of the third quarter. And we'll take a timeout with them. 10-11 to go in the third. Tennessee leads Marshall 16-7. We'll be back. Tennessee's offense has not been on the field this half. We've used almost 5 minutes of this half, and Marshall has run the football very, very well.
Well, they're doing exactly what Tennessee's defense would hope that they couldn't do. They've hit 2 short passes, but they have essentially taken it and jammed it down their throat. They got to come up with an answer to run the Marshall's running game, because they're eating up a lot of clock. Tennessee's not going to have the football for very long.
The most famous Knoxville native on the Marshall football program, of course, Jets quarterback Chad Pennington, but here are 3 on this team. Ian O'Connor, the kicker from Halls High, John Inman from Webb School, and Zane Bruin, offensive lineman from Powell High.
Well, and not only that, but Bruin's little brother, also from Powell High School, has committed to Marshall, and then they have recent signee, from Powell also. Smith has gone over there, transferred there this year. So they'll have 6 guys on that roster next year from Knoxville.
There's Zane Bruin. He's 6'6", 330 freshman. Right now, backup left guard.
And there's Inman. He's a big athletic lineman.
All right, Marshall puts it in play. This is the 9th play of the drive. It started at the 20. It is carried down to the Tennessee 38-yard line. And it's first down and 10 for Marshall. I don't know what we're waiting for.
I don't either, because they're the only TV timeouts they should have should be ours, and we don't have them. So let's get moving.
First down, Morris hands it to the tailback Chubb Small, gets good yardage inside the Tennessee 35, picks up 7.
That's almost it's not the same play, but it's similar in concept to what Air Force was doing. This is, the quarterback rides that running back. If he likes what he sees, he gives it to him. If he doesn't, he takes it and goes the opposite direction. And so you've got 2 good running backs with an option to go either way, and the quarterback just reads it.
Second down and 3 after the 7-yard pickup by Small. 9.5 minutes to go. We give it to Small again. Goes up the middle inside the 30, but he's going to be short of the first down. It'll be third down, less than 2. Turk McBride, Xavier Mitchell, team to make the tackle for the Volunteers.
I tell you what, though, when a team continually gets third and shorts, though, it just makes it tough. You can do anything on third and short. Essentially, you're in a field position now where you're in 2-down territory or 4-down territory anyway. Wouldn't be surprised to see them try and throw the football here.
Third down, they give it to Bradshaw, who, I don't think he made it.
No, he's short.
He's going to be short. He picked up a yard. He needed 2. Gerard Mayo put the first hit on him.
And looks as though Marshall's going to try and kick a field goal.
It will be 4th down, about 1.5 feet.
That's a good job up front. Got to stop when you needed it. That's something they hadn't done.
46-yard field goal for Anthony Binswanger. Not much of a breeze, but it's blowing his direction. So, and that's going to be way off. Way wide to the left, way short. And Tennessee, after watching Marshall drive from the 20 down to the Tennessee 30-yard line, the Volunteers come up with a stop.
Well, they let him get a lot of yards, but really, as it turns out, Tennessee still ends up with pretty good field position just inside the 30 and gave up no points, just what Phil Fulmer ordered at halftime.
Tennessee starts over at the 29 of the Volunteers. Ainge still at quarterback. Lone setback now for the Volunteers is Hardesty. Play action. Ainge drops it off to Chris Brown. First down inside the Marshall territory. Actually, he stopped just past the 45. It'll be a big gain of 17 for Tennessee. Matt Couch made the tackle for Marshall.
Yeah, good misdirection. Bootleg. Ainge rolled out to his right. Brown blocked down and then slipped back out into the flat area. Marshall was blitzing again. I think you're going to see a lot of that. They want to bring some pressure. They want to bring an extra guy every time. Here it comes again.
They give it to Hardesty, and Hardesty tackled despite Tennessee's blocker gotten away as well. Curtis Keys made the tackle. I'd love to see this again because the blocker actually helped tackle him.
Yeah, it really wasn't a very good run. He should have cut it back inside. Sears does a pretty good job, and that's Ligon blocking his guy, and Hardesty just didn't see him, I guess, because he ran right into it.
Loss of 5, 2nd down, 15. Back to the Tennessee 41.
Pressure again.
Ainge will be sacked. Hit from behind by Albert McClellan. That's a loss of 3 more. It's now going to be 3rd down and 17, maybe 18 yards.
Yeah, Marshall brought the pressure again. Every time they're bringing 2 blitzers to the same side to try and screw up Tennessee's protection. That time, the fullback, David Holbert, he's got responsibility there. He just whiffed and opened the gates up to get Ainge hit in the back. Ainge did a good job of holding on to the football there. That could have easily been a fumble.
Tennessee 5 out of 8 on 3rd down conversions. Marshall's blitzing again. He gets it away. It's incomplete. Pass short. Intended on the near sideline for Robert Meacham. And this is the first second-half opening drive Tennessee has not scored on this year.
They brought the pressure again, and we didn't have the protection to pick it up. Ainge had the receiver deep on the sideline. He just didn't have time to deliver the football. Had to throw off his back foot. Didn't have enough arm to get it there.
Emmanuel Spann will receive. Bam. High. Booming kick by Copeland. Bounces inside the 10. Tennessee's going to watch it roll to the 3. And the Volunteers get another booming super punt. 58 yards from Britton Colquitt. And that puts Marshall back up against the goal line once again.
Yeah, it's just a great trick by Britt. Not only did he kick it far, it bounced perfectly.
Perfect. Timeout, 5:40 to go in the third. Tennessee continues to lead 16-7. Well, Tennessee had them back to the 20, and they drove to the Tennessee 30. Their first possession. We'll see if Tennessee made some adjustments and they can keep them back on their end of the 50-yard line.
Well, last time we got a good punt down here, it ended up, I believe, on the 8-yard line at 92 yards for a touchdown. So it was aided by a couple personal foul penalties, granted, but still they drove the football down the field. Tennessee needs to shut them down right here. Down on this end of the field, keep them down deep. So when we do get the football back, it's going to be a great field position.
Marshall on the day has one touchdown, and that was when they drove 92 yards. Scored back in the second quarter. Bernard Morris's numbers: 27 yards rushing, 7 carries, almost 4 yards a carry. He has scored a touchdown on about a half-yard plunge. That's been it for Marshall in terms of scoring. Talking Football returns with new hosts and a new attitude. Don't miss all the engaging discussions, player interviews, and live viewer calls. If you want to stay on top of college football this season, tune in every Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern, only here on CSS. Tennessee allowed Marshall to run the football the last time they had it. Let's see if they make some changes. Bradshaw's back there along with a fullback now. That's Will Albin.
And Tennessee lines up. They've got both safeties pretty close to the line of scrimmage. Hefty's moving up.
And Marshall jumped. Wesley Jones, number 78, on the right side of that line, jumped. That's going to cost him half the distance.
False start. Number 78 on the offense.
That's his second. He was also hit with a holding penalty in the first half as well.
Well, I don't know whether it's the crowd noise or what. I mean, we don't have as many people in here as we normally do, but that much down in the end zone, still trying to disrupt things, making a lot of noise.
Morris hands it straight ahead, not much there. Bradshaw takes it back to the 2. Wes Brown and Marvin Mitchell make the tackle for Tennessee. It'll be second down and about 9.
That's a good defensive stop by Tennessee. You know Marshall's got to have bad feelings being this close to the end zone. Last time they were this close, it ended up with 2 points for Tennessee. So I don't think you're going to see them fooling around. They're going to hit straight handoffs and hope to drive it out.
Bradshaw up the middle to the 5, still on his feet. Good yardage for Bradshaw, but it will be third down for Marshall. Pickup of about 4. Jonathan Hefty made the tackle.
Yeah, Bradshaw doesn't have a lot of yards, but he still impresses me. I mean, this cat's a hard runner. He probably got 3 yards more than he deserved there by just driving.
Third down for Marshall. They have to pick up 4 yards to get a first down. The line of scrimmage is the Marshall 7. Inside handoff. Bradshaw bounces outside. I don't think he got it.
I don't know. I tell you what, I think his second effort did get it.
Demetrius Morley finally hauled him in, but let's see where they mark it. They got a good mark.
And, you know, that's unfortunate. We had him bottled up at least a yard and a half back where he ended that run. Great effort by him, but not that so great tackling by Tennessee.
First down out to the 13. This drive started at the 3. Morris hands it straight ahead. Big hole. First down. They give it to Bradshaw. Still on his feet. And out of bounds he goes at the 35. That's Chubb Small, not Bradshaw. And Morley knocks him out of bounds. 20-yard pickup for Small.
You can't tell the difference. They run the same. I mean, this is a good job by Small. good hole, obviously, but he does a good, finds a seam, breaks 2 tackles on this play. Doesn't really slow him down and just takes down around the right end.
First down, Marshall out to the 30. Small is still in at tailback. They give it to him again. This time, nothing there. Tennessee says there's a fumble.
Yeah.
Marshall says they have it.
Well, if Tennessee had it, they would have made a call by now.
On the bottom of the pile was Turk McBride. Marshall, big advantage this quarter, here in the third quarter, yet they have not scored. Gain of 1, second down and 9. It's at the Marshall 31. Morris, option. Give it to Bradshaw. Nothing there. Tennessee stops him at the line. Maybe a yard. We'll see where they unstack. And somebody laid the wood to Bernie Morris.
Well, that was Ryan Carl. He was coming off the right side on a blitz, and he laid Morris out. He pitches the ball. Mitchell makes a great play of fighting off the block of the tight end and meeting Bradshaw at the line of scrimmage.
Mitchell's slow to get up, but he is getting up.
Yeah, I tell you what, he did a great job of fighting through a block and closing in on the running back before he had a chance to get anything going.
Third down and about 8. Marshall 4 of 8 on third down plays. And Small is still in there. Two receivers right, 1 left for Marshall. Marshall 4 out of 8 on third down.
See if Tennessee brings a little heat here. Nope, 4-man rush.
Morris jumps up, pass caught, first down. Out to the 43. Cody Slate after a 12-yard pickup. And credit Morris for running away from pressure, stepping up and finding Slate and hitting him for 12 yards.
You're right. That was a heck of a play by Morris because he had pressure. He did a good job of stepping up in the pocket, finding the open area in the zone. His tight end was right there.
First down out to the 44. Marshall. This drive started at the Herd 3. They have a penalty marker on the play. I believe Tennessee may have been offside.
Yeah, I believe we jumped just a little early there. I think that was Turk McBride.
Offside. Defense. Number 90. 5-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
Turk just got going just a split second too early. Trying to get the jump on him. He knifed right through there. Here's a good look at it.
So instead of 1st and 10, it's 1st and 5, and we move it up to the Marshall 49-yard line, almost to midfield. Penalties beginning to add up now. 3 for 32 yards for Tennessee. Morris pitches back to Small. Huge hole. He gets around to the right side. Tennessee closes fast, but not before he gets a first down. Gerard Mayo shoves him out of bounds, but Small picks up 5, maybe 6, and the Herd is still thundering.
Marshall does a great job on this particular play. We got a blitz from the left side. Carl takes the quarterback. They do a good job of cutting down the inside guys that would be in pursuit. That's your middle linebacker. Cuts him down so he can't get out to the running back. And the receivers are doing a good job blocking the outside guys. So he's got a lot of room to run once he pitches the football.
Play action. Morris, everybody is covered. He's going to keep it. Steps out of bounds, not before he picks up about 6. Xavier Mitchell was there to make sure he didn't come back inbounds with the football.
Well, that was really a good play by Mitchell because he kind of got knocked to the inside. Quarterback bails right, And Mitchell spins out of there and does a good job of getting to the sideline and cutting him off and holding him just to 7 yards. If Mitchell doesn't get out there, he's up the sideline.
Gain of 7, 2nd and 3. It's at the Tennessee 38-yard line. Bradshaw bounces outside. Tennessee tackles him. He picked up no gain. And Demetrius Morley was there to knock him down. And it's now 3rd down and 3.
Well, for Tennessee's defense to be effective, their safeties have to be active in the run game. They got to come up and make tackles. That instance, Morley was inching up, but he read the play, came off the corner, and he caught the running back before he had a chance to get downfield.
Another big 3rd down, 3 yards to go. Morris options, pitches it, loose football, picked up by the Volunteers at the 40. Demetrius Morley picks it out of midair. A bad toss that time by quarterback Bernard Morris, ends up in the hands of Morley.
Morris gets rushed quick. I believe it was Ryan Carl that got on him. He pitches the ball. He's supposed to pitch it to his tailback. He pitches it to his fullback. And Morley's right there to make the catch. The play happened so fast, the fullback didn't have a chance to get out of the way. And ball got tapped to Morley, and he showed some great instincts by just snaking that thing out of the air.
It's at the 39 of Tennessee. First turnover of the game for Marshall. And despite the wet conditions, though not muddy, I'm surprised we haven't had more. Quick flip, Lucas Taylor. Running room, first down. Inside Marshall territory, good yardage on the quick hitter from Eric Ames to Lucas Taylor.
That's how Tennessee started the game, throwing slip screens, quick things. As it went on, they started going downfield more, and as you noticed, Marshall started blitzing a lot more. I think you'll see Tennessee go back more to the controlled short passing game. Here's your turnover. He wants to pitch it, just a lousy pitch to his fullback when it should have gone to his tailback. Morley's right there to make the play.
And that will be the end of the 3rd quarter. No scoring for either team, but boy, did Marshall ever run up and down the field in the 3rd quarter. They totally dominated those stats, but Tennessee has it back as we start the 4th period of play, and the Volunteers leading it 16-7.
Plays, is that right?
4, maybe 5.
3 and out, 3 and out, one play right there. I mean, that's you get over there and get calcified if you don't you don't get to play any more than that.
Well, when we do resume play to start the 4th quarter, Tennessee has it in Marshall territory at the Thundering Herd 48-yard line.
Check this out. These guys want to play. Got a couple guys over on the sidelines with helmets on. Looked like one of them had pads on. I think it might have just been him.
Tennessee leads at 16-7, and if they could take up a couple more minutes and put one in the checkerboard here, I think they'd be in pretty good shape. Let's take a look at Marshall's last possession as Coach Mark Snyder does a little pacing on the sideline.
Yeah, here you go. This is Chuck Small breaking 2 tackles. Just gassing it up, and there's a good pitch from Morris. That's Small again, Bradshaw Small, and there's the bad pitch, which Morley picked out of the air.
Volunteers have only had the football twice. This is the 2nd. First down. Pass intercepted. Some daylight out of bounds, finally knocked out. Matt Couch with the pick. Tennessee's number 54, Eric Young, knocked him out of bounds.
Yeah, Tennessee had the short pass called again. They had a slant and an out pattern by the inside guy. Marshall comes up quick into a double zone coverage. When that happens, the slot man's supposed to turn around and hook it up. He hooked it up late. Ames to it to the inside. Bounces off the receiver. Next thing you know, Marshall's got it again.
And there Ames was having a pretty good first half. The second half, not that good. Bradshaw back into tailback. Line of scrimmage to Tennessee 45. They give it to Bradshaw. Picks up maybe a yard, maybe 2. We'll see where they mark it. Ryan Carl made the tackle. In the third quarter of this football game, or through 3 quarters, Tennessee watches that total yardage advantage really shrink because Marshall dominated play in the third quarter.
And Marshall gained about 70 yards rushing there. There's the option again.
Morris keeps it, picks up about 4, maybe 5. Wes Brown and DeMonte Bolden chase him down. Pick up a 4. It'll be 3rd and 5.
You know, Wes Brown is another guy that Tennessee's been wanting to get into the ball game, get some playing time. Did a good job there making the tackle.
Inside the Tennessee 40, 3rd down and about 5. Big play for the Volunteers right here. Sideline incomplete. It's 4th down. Hiram Moore, the intended receiver, and Jonathan Wade was right with it.
Wade did a good job at jamming him and then pretty much running him out the sideline. Didn't give him a lane to get down the sideline. Just good play, good cornerback play.
Ian O'Connor will stand right at midfield. Punt this one. Tennessee's not dropping anybody back. High kick. Bounces. Marshall downs it at the 11. So Tennessee with not good field position here with 13:03 to go. A 28-yard punt. And with that, we'll take a break. 13 minutes, 3 seconds to go in the football game. Tennessee continues to lead the Thundering Herd 16-7. Marshall trailing at 16-7. They've had 3 real impressive offensive drives. They scored on 1. They turned it over on 1 and missed a field goal on the other.
Yeah, you would think they would get more at what they've done, but Tennessee has come up and stopped them a couple times. They stopped themselves, missed a field goal. Now Tennessee's got a chance with the football again. I know David Cutcliffe didn't like the way that last series, if you call 2 plays a series, ended.
Last possession,
because he saw his quarterback probably make an ill-advised throw into a hot area. It's just a little too tight of coverage to try and fit that ball in. You want to throw that ball away or go to the other side. This is the area of the field where you got to be able to run the football. That's something Tennessee's done a decent job of today, but not great. This is the place you got to be able to knock them off the ball a bit. Do what Marshall's been doing to us a little bit.
Well, that's an interesting stat. 4th winningest program in NCAA football since 1996. The Thundering Herd 98-30, and they're coming in off a 4-7 season.
That is interesting. I wouldn't have thought that, but we talked about earlier about when Pennington was there and Byron Leftwich. They racked up a lot of numbers in, obviously.
Coach Bob Pruitt retired a couple of years ago, and Mark Snyder's in his 2nd year as the head coach at Marshall.
Well, they used to be, when Pennington and Leftwich were there, you talk about throwing the football. That's what they did. They threw it all over the lot.
Ames gives to LaMarcus Coker. Big hole. Coker cuts to the outside. A man down. Coker's rolling. He's at the 40. He's at the 30. Nobody's going to catch him. Checkerboard, touchdown, Big Orange, 89 yards, LaMarcus Coker.
Well, if there's anything that will make you feel better about your running game, it's something like that. I mean, big plays are what the offense thrives on, and there's no bigger play than when you're bottled up in your own end zone and you give it to LaMarcus Coker, and his offensive line just caves him down. He cuts it back and shows some outstanding speed. There was no way anybody in green and white was going to catch number 22.
89 yards for LaMarcus Coker, the touchdown. Coker's carried it 5 for 107 yards. Wilhoit makes it 23-7. 12:36 to go. Still a lot of time to play in this football game.
Well, that's a guy they've been talking about wanting to see more of, and now I can see why.
Timeout. 12:36 to go. Tennessee has extended the lead over Marshall. The Volunteers now lead it 23-7 here at Neyland Stadium. Well, there's some of the crowd that come out of those rain slickers that everybody had because it was raining about the time the game started. We've had some intermittent showers here over the afternoon, but right now it's very, very pleasant. 68 degrees.
We may dodge a bullet here today.
Yeah, I guarantee you.
I'm keeping my fingers crossed. There's still 12:36 left to go. That doesn't mean there's 12 minutes left before we leave here, but still, we've done a great job at dodging at this point.
The game started almost an hour late, 55 minutes officially today. And there's LaMarcus Coker, his longest touchdown run from scrimmage for Tennessee since 1977.
And Bobby Denton is informing the crowd of just that at this point. That brings a cheer.
Let's take a look at it again as Coker rambles for 89 yards.
Well, the offensive line, you can say what you want about the offensive line, but they did their job there. They really caved it down and gave him a good cutback lane, and then that speed just took care of the rest.
Tennessee now with a 16-point lead.
I've just been informed that the longest run before that was Kelsey Finch. 99, was that 99 yards? 99 yards against Florida in 1977. Kelsey, that's an old teammate of mine.
That comes to us courtesy of Mr. Tom Mattingly, one of the Tennessee historians. Our spotter, who does a great job. Chubb Small and Emmanuel Spann back deep to receive it. Wilhoit will kick it. And he hits it hard. A line drive taken at the goal line by Small. Fakes the reverse. It didn't fool anybody, especially the tackler for the Volunteers. And that was Ben Green, number 14, playing on special teams. 13-yard return. And here's that's a good reason how you lose a shoe. Right there. Yeah, you run into Ben Green.
Hit him so hard he undressed him.
So Marshall starts from the Tennessee 12. Clock is moving. 12:22 to go.
And the thing about Marshall now, 12 minutes is a long time, but they've been content to just, bam the ball, crash the ball at us. I don't think, being down 23-7, they can afford to do that.
Morris dumps it off. Good yardage. Pass caught out to the 20. To Cody Slate, number 85, the tight end. Picks up about 8 yards. It'll be second down and 2 from the 20-yard line. Clock moving. 11:38, 11:39. Tennessee by 16. Morris out of the shotgun. Morris back inside the 15, and a penalty marker is down.
No, he's going to get him for a face mask, I think. It was one of those inadvertent things. But that was Ayers.
Robert Ayers. Let's see what they say.
There's no flag on the play for face mask. He grabbed the helmet and not an opening.
Well, that's good for Ayers. They say that he grabbed the helmet, not an opening. Let's take a look.
Yeah, here's a look at it. Here comes Ayers. He does a good spin move to the inside. He's got that helmet. He's got that quarterback. And he doesn't have that flag.
That's a loss of 7 back to the 13-yard line. It's 3rd and long for Marshall. 3rd down, about 9. The Herd 5 of 11 now on 3rd down conversions. Tennessee with an entire front defensively of second stringers. They're coming hard after Morris. Pass caught. 1st down. Out crossing the 25-yard line. Marvin Mitchell made the tackle for Tennessee. Cody Slate, the tight end, made the grab. Let's check in with Mike Stoll. Mike.
Randy, thanks a lot. We're here on the sidelines. Coach Fulmer, on that last touchdown score, he pulled all the team aside and said, look, guys, we have to establish ourselves in the run. And that time they definitely did with a great push. But then he ran right over to the defense and said, defense, we have not played well in the 4th quarter. It's time to dig in and hit somebody.
1st down. Morris. Bradshaw bounces outside, stays on his feet, picks up almost 10 yards. He is tough to bring down.
He is. He's one of those guys that make you look bad. It makes make you look like you don't have a very good tackling football team, because you can hit this guy and it's almost like you're hitting a brick, it looks like, because you just kind of bounce off. That play in particular, that shouldn't have gained more than 2 yards, but he just kept churning and breaking tackles, and next thing you know, he's gained 9 yards.
2nd and 1. Morris to Bradshaw. Has the 1st down. Picks up about 2. Rico McCoy makes the tackle for Tennessee. Bradshaw gets the 1st down. The clock continues to roll as soon as they mark the football.
Bradshaw's coming out of the ball game. He's got a little limp going on. Rico McCoy hits him right. Well, he hits McCoy in the chest, but he does a good job of holding his ground. Fortunately, it wasn't keeping short of the 1st down.
Morris, keeper, pitches it. Make the pitch. Tennessee's got him back there at the 35. Demetrius Morley and Bernard Morris. That's a loss of 4.
That's a good job by both of those guys, and another good job by Mitchell also, stringing out the quarterback, making him run side to side. Mitchell shoves him out. Morley does a good job of getting rid of the block, gets him on the sideline. That's how you play that option.
Got out of bounds. That stopped the clock with 9:26 to go. And they're working on Ahmad Bradshaw, but I think it's a cramp.
Well, pretty soon, Marshall's going to have to start throwing the ball a little bit more.
Morris, Tennessee coming after him pretty hard. He gets away. Stopped. Back almost to the original line of scrimmage, and it's going to be 3rd and long. Ryan Carl and Marvin Mitchell make the tackle.
That's great closing on the football by Mitchell and Carl, because Morris does a good job eluding the extra corner blitz and breaks out. Usually when you have a quarterback that beats that blitz, breaks up past the line of scrimmage, he's got room to run. In that instance, Carl and Mitchell recognized it. Turk McBride came up fast. They caught him for a little short gain.
3rd down and 10. Marshall with the football at the Thundering Herd 38-yard line. Tennessee's coming hard again. He steps up, dumps it out here. It's going to be intercepted. Tennessee picks it off. Jonathan Hefney with the interception back to midfield after a 13-yard return, and the Volunteers have stopped Marshall again.
Well, Morris broke out. Just an ill-advised pass, and I think Hefney baited him into that just a little bit. They're playing a double zone. Morris got rushed. Once he had to step out of the pocket, he got a little flustered, saw the corner pattern, and thought he had it. Hemphill just kind of laid in wait, came up, caught the short throw, the big turnover for the Vols.
Ames back at quarterback. Tennessee by 16. Coker's back into tailback. Ames play action. Steps up, throws it down the left side. Caught by Meacham and knocked out of bounds inside the 25. Super pass by Eric Ames, who ran away from trouble and hit a wide open Robert Meacham.
Boy, did he ever. Nice play fake. Had a defender coming up deep, and so he just ran up through the hole to the right. Almost looked like he was going to take off running the football. I think he was getting just a little closer to Meacham, but Meacham ran all the way across the field. He makes a nice throw into the open area.
24-yard gain on the pass play from Ames to Meacham. First down inside the 25 at the 23. They give it to Coker, who gets back to the line, maybe one. That's it. Matt Couch, the linebacker, makes the tackle.
Well, Marshall's selling out at the line of scrimmage. They're bringing pressure from someplace, usually more than one guy every time.
Second down and 9 after the 1-yard gain by Coker.
They're showing blitz again.
Ames dumps it right side. Caught by Meacham inside the 20. J.J. Johnson makes the tackle. And Tennessee faced now with a 3rd and short. They mark it at the Thundering Herd, somewhere between the 16 and 17-yard line. It'll be 3rd down, about 3.5.
Got a new quarterback. I think you can look for an option play here, a quarterback run a la Florida, what you saw last week.
Jonathan Crompton, the freshman, redshirt freshman. There you see his numbers in passing. Takes it, does the Tim Tebow thing, but illegal procedure against Tennessee.
He had a first down too. There was a hole there.
False start on the offense. 5-yard penalty.
So instead of 3rd and 3, it's going to be 3rd and 8. We back it up now to the 21.
Crompton says, come on, give me a break. I get one play.
I think he'll be back in, especially if Tennessee scores this possession.
Well, if they score this possession, I think you're going to see some, because they want to get him in the ballgame. They want to get him some reps, give him a chance to play a little bit.
2 receivers left, 1 right. Slot right also for Tennessee. 3rd and 8. Ames straight drop. In trouble. And sacked back at the 33-yard line.
And that is a bad place to take a sack. That situation, you know, you throw the ball away, keep your yardage, manageable field goal situation. I think he didn't feel the guy behind him until it was too late. He was too busy eluding the guy that was at his feet. Sets it up for essentially a 50-yard field goal, doesn't it, Randy?
Yep, and if it does, that makes it a 3-possession game. And with 5:45 to go and the clock moving, it would put Tennessee in great shape. So this is, if he can make it from 49 yards away.
Well, he made a good 51-yarder last week. Missed his first kick today, but
timeout.
I think they're going to talk about
Tennessee.
this a little bit.
Timeout. Tennessee's requested a timeout. Now Coach Fulmer's pretty upset with Ames.
Well, I guarantee you what he's telling you. He said you cannot take a sack in that situation. I don't care what happens. I don't care if they bring, 11 people, the cheerleaders, and half the sideline at you. You got to get rid of the football. And that's exactly what he's telling him. And Eric knows it. It's just too late now.
23-7 timeout. 5:31 to go in the game. Tennessee in the lead. 23-7. Marshall trailing Tennessee. This is a big field goal attempt coming up for James Wilhoit. He's going to put it down around the 40, which would be a 50-yard attempt, I think. If he makes it, it's a 3-possession game.
Well, this is a guy whose confidence has got to be pretty high. Granted, he missed one earlier today, but up to that point had been flawless. And so kicking's like hitting the golf ball or anything else. I mean, when you're doing it good, you know, you feel real good about yourself. When you're not, you start thinking about it. So I'd say he feels pretty good about himself and about his leg. And this is definitely within his range. So I'm going to predict that he knocks it right down the middle.
All right. It will be about a 49-yard, 49, maybe 49 and a half. We'll see where he will kick it from.
I still hadn't figured out why we got all these delays.
Well, there is a TV station from Marshall televising the game.
Well, yeah, but surely Marshall's not running our broadcast or our game.
Well,
surely not.
I don't know. Maybe they are.
Well, we need to talk to their management if that's the case.
Also, they have radio timeouts too.
Well, that is true.
So it's Kessling's fault.
It's Kessling's fault. That's right.
Blame Kessling.
Well, I can see him from right here. If it wasn't for that window, I could get to him too. So.
It's a 49-yard attempt for Wilhoit. He's made one from 51 this year. Casey Woods will hold. Kick is away. It's long enough. It is good. 26-7. Wilhoit knocks down a 49-yard field goal for the Volunteers, and it makes it a 3-possession game now, 26-7.
Right down the middle. He hits a line drive here. This wasn't one of those big high kicks. This was a shot. I mean, this thing, he hits it from 49. That thing was good from 59. And Phil likes that. Little breathing room.
So now the Tennessee defense will take over after Wilhoit will kick it off. And 5:24, and some of the crowd is beginning to file away here. Going home to get some dry clothes, some refreshment, I'm sure. 5 plays, 20 yards, 3:02 on the clock. Wilhoit's 49-yard field goal. Tennessee has outscored Marshall this half 10-0.
And you know, it's really strange, Randy, because the way the half started, or the third quarter went, you thought, golly, we're getting blown out of this game. And score-wise, we weren't, but we were getting beat up and down the field. And now we're sitting here with 5:24 left to go in the game, and we've outscored them 10-0.
Stay up on all the college football programming on CSS. Be sure and bookmark css-sports.com and check it often for upcoming college football games, coaches shows, talk shows, and other related programming. CSS is your source for Southeast sports and Southeast college football. You know, you look back at Tennessee and you say, well, we didn't play well defensively. This team put up 21 points at West Virginia, the number 5 team in the country, and a team a lot of people are saying could be one of the top 2 or 3 teams in the country.
You know, they put up 325 yards offense against West Virginia. Now, granted, they gave up a lot of yards, but offensively, they still did some good things. You know, Bradshaw, if I'm not mistaken, I think he went for about 95 yards at West Virginia. So
Marshall's played a tough start to their schedule. Lost at West Virginia 42-10. They beat Hofstra 54-31, then lost at Kansas State 23-7. And they'll be at Central Florida on October 4th. Wilhoit, good foot into this one. It's going to be about 6 yards deep. Marshall will say we'll bring it out to the 20. That's where the Herd will put it in play. First down at 10 at the Marshall 20-yard line. The rest of the way for the Volunteers after playing their first 4 games at home. The Vols will play at Memphis, and then on October 7th at Georgia. Then they're off a week, and they'll be back home here on October 21st against Alabama. Morris is the quarterback. Straight drop. Tennessee's got it. It's a sack. Loss of 2. Dan Williams gets him for a sack. It's a 2-yard loss, and the clock is rolling. 4:50 to go.
Well, that's another guy they've been dying to get into the ball game. Another guy that they're just in love with his talent. Freshman, 6'3", big body, 310. That's what they want at the tackle position. Said he's just a little green, but they need to get him some plays and get him seasoned because they're going to need him.
Morris going down the sideline, incomplete. Pass intended for Emmanuel Spann. So now it's 3rd and 12.
Well, Antoine Stewart did a good job. He ran him out of bounds 5 yards into his route and wouldn't let him come back on the field. There's nobody to throw to. Here's a good look at Williams. He's a good-looking athlete. I mean, does he look 310 pounds to you? I mean, that kid's a stud. He rounds into shape. They're going to have a force in the middle.
3rd down for Marshall and 11. Morris, straight drop. Tennessee's Mitchell's coming after him. He dumps it off.
Well,
that ought to be grounded.
It's got to be.
Tennessee's arguing about it too. Turk McBride was chasing him along with Mitchell.
The only way I can think that it's not, I guess they say he's out of the pocket.
He was retreating backward though.
Yeah, but maybe they said he was out, past the tackle box. I don't know how they exactly determined that. Obviously, they felt like it was 4th down, so they didn't need a flag anyway. So we're going to get it back.
How much you bet we'll see Crompton?
No, I think we'll see a few reserves.
O'Connor's punt, not a good. Takes a good Marshall bounce inside the Tennessee 40. The Volunteers will put it in play. Good field position. 43-yard punt with the help of a good bounce for O'Connor. 4:08 to go. Tennessee with a 26-7 lead over Marshall. And Jonathan Crompton is coming in at quarterback.
And we got Brad Cottom in the ball game. We've got Stephen Jones in at right tackle. We've got Josh Briscoe out there, wide out.
Crompton hands it straight ahead. Big hole. Here's Coker again. Coker turns the corner out to the 45. First down. 16-yard pickup. Matt Couch knocks him down, but not before he gets 16 yards and a first down.
Tennessee's going to be in a little bit of a bind next week. You're going to get Foster back, coming back from his ankle, when you got Coker coming off a big game. And then, you got Hardesty also. I mean, you can't play them all. Who do you put out there?
Coker looks awfully good to me.
He looks really good.
They give it to Coker. He bounces outside again. He's going to go again. He's at the 30. Finally caught inside the 35, but a penalty marker is down. Jeremy Radomir makes the tackle.
Yeah, but the penalty flag's way on the other side of the field. Am I not mistaken? I mean, is that right? No, I see it down there in the middle.
23-yard gain.
Sideline warning against Marshall. There's their first warning.
And Marshall's sitting down there going, give me a break. There's 3 minutes left in the game. 26-7. And you're bugging me about my sideline.
David Yancey is in at running back now for Tennessee. Coker with 146 yards. Tennessee is opening up some holes now, I'm telling you. 6-yard pickup for Yancey.
You know, and they're opening it up, and Marshall's still challenging the line of scrimmage. They are bringing people in and still attacking the line of scrimmage. They're just doing a better job of blocking.
Ainge's 5 best games, his 3rd best came today. 1 touchdown pass, however, 258 yards. Crompton hands it straight ahead. Nice move by Yancey. It's close to the first down. Picks up between 4 and 5. Jacobs up front makes the tackle for Marshall. But it's going to be short by about half a yard, maybe a foot.
That's a good decision. Good decision by Yancey. He saw the cutback lane and then saw the outside linebacker close in on it. Immediately shot it straight back up the field. Got enough yards for the first down.
And now they say it was a first down, so they give it to him. Yancey's the lone setter. Line of scrimmage is the 14. Crompton. Yancey spins away, cuts back inside, fights his way to the 10. Tremendous job by David Yancey, who was actually hit for a loss of a couple of yards, and he winds up gaining 3.
Yeah, Marshall did a good job of penetrating that time, forcing him to the backside. It really didn't look like there was much there. He did a nice spin move and then did what he needed to do, get north and south to keep from losing yards.
Tennessee with an entirely new front 5. Chris Scott, Ramon Foster, Josh McNeil, Jock McClendon, Stephen Jones, and Brad Cottom. And Jeff Cottom, both in second down. Yancey inside the 5. Very close to another first down. We'll see where they mark it. Clock continues to move. 1:01, now under a minute to go. Radomir makes the tackle on Yancey. And it's 3rd down.
And you know Crompton's down there saying, come on, send in a pass play. Just give me a pass play. Doesn't get to play very often. I'm sure he's just chomping at the bit to throw one. I doubt he's going to get to. I know how he feels.
Crompton, Yancey, cuts back inside, touchdown! David Yancey from 5 yards out, and the Volunteers now lead it 32-7.
And you got to feel good for a guy like David Yancey. He is somebody that has put in his time. Hadn't got a lot of playing time. Always been well thought of. Finally got scholarship this last year. A senior guy. You love to see good things happen to good people, good hardworking people. You like to see this nice cut. Stretched it out, opened it up, then cut straight up the field for a 5-yard touchdown.
Great block by Josh McNeil, the freshman. Wilhoit makes it 33-7 with 23 seconds left in the game. And Tennessee is going to be 3-1 as they head to Memphis next Saturday. Game starts at noon at Liberty Bowl Stadium.
Tennessee did what you've expected Tennessee to do in these type of games in the past, whether things are going good or bad. You expect them to be able to impose their will when they decide to and more or less destroy an inferior football team. And that's essentially what's happened here in the 4th quarter.
Volunteers led it 16-7 at the half. And 16-7 going into the 4th quarter. They put a couple of touchdowns on the board. And they put this game out of reach. 33-7.
And not only offensively, in the 4th quarter, defensively, they stepped it up and got some stops when they needed to.
7 plays, 61 yards, all of it on the ground, 3:45 off the clock, and Yancey gets the touchdown on a 5-yard run. So does this answer the questions for Tennessee's lack of rushing last week against Marshall? Florida?
No, I don't think you can say that. I think early in the game, Tennessee, I'd say early in the game, a lot of the first half, Tennessee had a difficult time running the football. They weren't doing that good a job up front. So, you know, it makes you feel better about it because they had some success and broke some plays. Do you say, is it fixed? Is it where it needs to be? I say no.
Tennessee has rushed the ball 176 yards, most of that belonging to LaMarcus Copeland. Taken by Span up the sideline. Stays in bounds at the 35, upended by James Wilhoit.
What's he think he's doing?
34-yard return with 10 seconds to go.
He's coming, cuts it back in and then back out, breaks it contained. There's Wilhoit. Hits him right at the knees.
Now, normally your kicker just kind of lays back, but there were 2 or 3 orange shirts behind him. He was going up to make the tackle.
Yeah, that 50.
Ooh, what a lick.
51-yarder. He's feeling froggy, I guess.
Number 34 for Tennessee. That is Dorian Davis. Laid the hammer down on the tailback, and that's the ball game. What a great way to end this one for Tennessee. The Volunteers 33, Marshall 7. That's your final score as Tennessee wins 3 of 4 with their only loss in the first 4 games at home being a 1-point loss last week to Marshall. And we'll take a break and we'll be back with some final thoughts about this game as Tennessee beats Marshall 33-7.